Hi, CHRIS REID Realtor here out of Pensacola, Florida. I am in the heart of East Hill, which is an older neighborhood in the middle of our Pensacola, downtown Pensacola area. And I am standing in front of a property that's listed for sale. It's a very unique property for the neighborhood. East Hill is known for its craftsman's cottages and its, some big Victorians. There is a scattering of new construction about. There are waterfront properties, some more contemporary homes, just a real eclectic mix of homes. And this house sits on a block that has all newer construction. It was all built out around 2020, 2022. A developer had torn down an old brick building that was dilapidated and built out a subdivision. So all of the homes are two-story. They're all of the same quality craftsmanship. There were a variety of different plans that one could choose from at that time with different finishes. So it's kind of neat to see, all these different homes on this city block in the middle of an older neighborhood that has 1920s bungalows. So it has a real craftsman coastal cottage vibe to it, but with modern, new efficiency and conveniences. So just wanted to share this with you. And so let's go take a look. When you pull into the property, you see the really lush landscaping, split rail fence, mature trees. And really, these trees have just grown in the last few years because the property was just completed in 2022. Two-story hardy board siding, gabled roof, and a pebble drive going down the side to a one-car garage in the back. Paver entry. You notice right when you come to the door this beautiful solid mahogany door, and the very lush front yard. They really did maximize what they had here with the front yard. As you walk into the front door, you see that there is tile that extends throughout the entire first floor. 18-inch tile, thin grout lines, 10-foot ceilings. The walls are painted a neutral gray, like a real medium gray. Very cool, calming kind of color. It has a dull finish, like a matte finish on the walls, and a semi-gloss or low luster satin, something to that effect on the woodwork. Now, before we go into the primary suite, which is through these double doors, I'm going to take you into the main living area. So it's kind of like a glorified shotgun in that it's a long, narrow home, but of course, much bigger than a traditional shotgun in that it's 2 stories and pushing 2,600 square feet. This house has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and plus an office, 2,561 square feet. But it does have that shotgun feel because you're able to look from the front door all the way down through the back and out onto the backyard. So before we check out all these smaller rooms, I really wanted to show you the main living space. Nice flat ceilings, double doors with the French doors with the side lights really extend across the whole back of the home. There's an area here that you can accommodate a good-sized dining room table. And the real wow factor in this house is the kitchen. It's very contemporary, very modern feeling. The island is quartz. There is cabinetry on both sides of the island. You see that there are no handsets, so no handles, knobs, or anything like that. I believe this is an oak cabinet, but I'm not totally sure about that. But you do have these indented handles that you can pull. You see this nice sturdy sturdy shelves. The cabinetry is really something else. So you have, open living where you have your kitchen open to the rest of your living space, but you don't have to look at all the stuff that's kept on the counters. So it's kind of a unique design. The Sub-Zero refrigerator is tucked in behind the panels. You've got the top there and then the drawers below. There's another tray below. And the rest is all just pantry shelves all the way floor to ceiling with the flush mount stove, oven. Okay, on this side you have a different style cabinetry, but it still has that contemporary flush look. The quality of drawers is very nice with dovetail fittings. And of course, no slam. The burners are induction. That's an induction stove. Quartz countertop, undermounted sink. So your view when entertaining. And you really see how they've maximized these little outdoor spaces. So the neighbor's house, it becomes part of the view. The white paint with the board and batten and dark trimmed windows and dark gutters and whatnot really give a sense of architecture and design, and then the white fence mimicked. There are just layers and it just gives some visual interest, especially with the ivy growing. The floor has outlets, which I always love because it really shows that the builder had really paid some attention to detail. You've got open space living, and the dilemma is always, how do you place your furniture floating in a room without having cords going under carpets and things like that, which of course is not a great thing to have. So great space for someone looking for that open concept living. The living room is on the back of the house where you spend most of your time, so it's quiet, private. And this would just be your what we would call your public areas. While I'm here, I'll take you out back. One of the things that I like about the properties in this neighborhood is they have a very deep porch. The back porch is very deep. Ceilings are very high. Again, very lush backyard. Not too much lawn to mow. Privacy wall. Also has Confederate jasmine on it, which smells delightful. Flagstone walkway. The gate is large enough to, put your, I guess you don't really need a lawnmower here, but if you had, big things to move, you've got a big door in the back to accommodate that. Definitely a comfortable space, not a big yard, but definitely maximized yard space. The one-car garage, again, has very high ceilings, recessed lighting, and there's just a rubber mat that's down to keep the floor from getting, oil stains. Hurricane brace doors. The advantage of having the house that's built in 2022 is it's going to be all up to, some of the most recent codes. It'll be the most efficient. It'll be, energy efficient, and then also have lower reduced insurance costs because it is all up to the latest code. So with a house like this, you can have that coastal feel in the old neighborhood that is not a cookie cutter neighborhood, but have really modern conveniences. When you walk through this house, you just have a feeling of how solid it is. Very nice size pantry. This is the guest bath. And it's interesting to see just this nice real touch of warmth with the wicker light and then this wallpaper, which is feminine opposed to a lot of the gray in the house. And then they went with a real modern pedestal sink. Of course, you know, one would put a mirror of their choice above the sink. But this is a freestanding pedestal, which is it's kind of like a pedestal and a basin mixed into one. Here you have laundry. Now you've got the same cabinets that you have in the kitchen. No handles. You just pop it open with your hand. Just push on it, pops open. And they have it set up to do an upright washer dryer. So when you're, this door is open from the hall, you don't really, you're not really going to be focused on that washer and dryer when you're looking. Another closet here, storage under the stairs has been maximized with shelf and bar. And you can see just the quality kind of goes throughout. Beautiful copper clothes bar, and handsets are all shiny, not copper, chrome. I'm sorry, chrome, shiny chrome, copper. What? Anyway, as we make our way back to the front of the house, you have the primary bedroom. Nice to have a bedroom on the first floor. Not everybody wants to be downstairs, but it really is nice to have your bedroom on the first floor. If this is, a couple or a single person who's living here, you could literally live entirely on the first floor without having to go upstairs. The bank of windows in the front really, it makes it feel like it's a terrarium, that you're looking outside over this beautiful little garden. Looks like some sort of ornamental. Is that I've forgotten what that's called. Like it's like a little ornamental tree and live oaks. Again, you've got the 10-foot ceilings. Double doors leading to the primary bath. You can see the height of the doors, 8-foot doors. Long vanity with plenty of counter space. One could put artwork here in the middle, shelves, another mirror, whatever one would like. The cabinets are mimicked, nice clean lines, quartz countertops. When you go into the shower area, the tile, it goes from floor to ceiling. It's the same tile it seems to be the same tile that's on the floor. You've got a glass wall, freestanding glass wall, and the small tiles, which are nice to keep you from slipping. They're all kind of angled into the middle where the drain is, and it's a real seamless entry. So if I can get our camera down here, it's flush, so it's very easy in and out. And shower head and wand. Solid built-ins in the closet with a stand-up full-length mirror. It's always nice, really maximizing this closet space. So as we make our way upstairs, one thing that you really notice is the shape of the handrail and the posts and the balustrades. I don't think I've ever seen this shape before. I'm assuming it's all custom. It's very unique, tapered up top, going down to, the normal 4x4 base, And then the round balustrades mimic that same shape. I believe that the treads are oak. Landing at the top of the stairs. Now we've switched here to an LVP floor, lighter color. This would make another great desk area, sitting area, phone, conversation area, place to display artwork, anything that you kind of need. Decent sized second bedroom. Again, the ceilings are high. Custom window treatments throughout the entire house. While I'm here, I'm going to share with you the attic space, which is really something. So you've got, this is where you really see the newer construction with the Icynene. This is, considered an encapsulated space. So it's part of the air conditioning system. And you can just see where it was intentionally kept clear so you can have great access for storage. Little landing here, you can see they've kept some, some of the plank flooring, some of the tile. There's a nice orange peel finish on the walls. Shared bath here. Love the light fixture. Now this is kind of interesting because you do have this big space here. Now this could really accommodate I picture a big armoire here, some big furniture, some big chunky piece of furniture that you could put here. You could also put, a bench, decent sized vanity. Again, pick out your own mirror there. Tub is a deep soaking tub, and again with the consistency of the color of the tile. Turn the light on here. Your fan goes on as well, but you can get a feel for what that looks like. So the shared bath up here is, it's right between the two bedrooms. Again, you've got these great windows overlooking the treetops, and what you really benefit from is, not having to build the house yourself. You benefit from having the current owner having planted those trees and given them some time to grow and to fill in, and now you can take advantage of it. That's part of the thing with new construction is that, often your landscaping is not grown in. You have to wait for it to get mature. And this window is recessed a little bit too, so you could have a nice bench there, window seat. This is a little bonus room. So you have office space here. And they went with some stripping on the ceiling to give a little aesthetic. Square windows, giving a little architectural flair. The gray is very neutral. It might be a little bit much in the way of gray for some folks, but an easy fix. If you've got a house that has everything like brand spanking new or nearly new, and all you really have to do is pick out your paint color or maybe a little wallpaper or some furniture, it's not a bad gig. I'd like to thank Anthony Mazurko for sharing his listing with us today. Before we leave this neighborhood, I'm going to take a little tour around the block so you can get a better feel and vibe of what this neighborhood is all about, what the aesthetic is of the surrounding homes. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions about this property, I'm always happy to help.